Hey everyone, it's Saturday. Welcome to the Shave Den. Kensurfs here, and it's time for another shave. Today I'm going to be trying out a new aftershave and a new soap from Hendrix Classics and Company in collaboration with Rich Man Shaving. So let me show you what we have today. We have Ticket to Ride. This is available on their website right now. It's ready. Sometimes I'm a little late, but it is out right now, and it is available. And this is an homage or inspired by Yves Saint Laurent's Y for men, Eau de Parfum. Now, I've never smelled yet YSL Y for men, but if it smells like this, it's got to be damn good, because this smells very good. This smells right away like one of the high-end scents that you would find in a high-end store, like such as Creed or Sauvage or what is it, 1 Million. And Yves Saint Laurent is one of them. And so this, I don't know, I'm going to have to smell Yves Saint Laurent, because this is a very, very, very nice scent. So I'm going to be trying this out today. I'm going to be using the Semogue boar brush. In fact, let me put this into the Crystal Skull. Got it in the Crystal Skull soaking right now. I'm going to be using the Razorock Gamechanger. I'm rotating some of the DE razors around. I was going to use the leaf or the twig, but I'll catch that for another shave. And I do have the One Blade Genesis that I have to do a review on. I've got it, I just haven't done it yet. I'm kind of catching up. Work's been kind of busy, so I'm trying to get out back to 2 or 3 videos a week. I think this will be maybe the 3rd in 7 days, so that's not so bad. But I'll be using the Gamechanger today with the Personna Blue, Lab Blue. I've still got the box, so I figure I might as well use them. And like I said, the Razorock Gamechanger. Now, I've used this razor before, so it's a nice 3-piece razor. Oop, that already has a blade in it. It's probably a Personna Lab Blue. Let's see. But it's always nice to have a brand new, can't tell. It's always nice to have a new blade in there. Yeah, there is some writing on there, very faint writing. Yeah, there it is. You're probably not going to catch it on the, oh, yeah, you're probably not going to catch it on there, but you can kind of see the shadow of the letters there. And I probably should have put this on the base plate first, but nope. Right in, no problem, no overhang. I've had my 2 big coffees this morning. It's Kentucky Derby Day. I'm going to call this a Kentucky Derby shave, because I'm going over to my daughter's house and my son-in-law's house, and they're having a big Kentucky Derby race party. So they're going to be watching the game. I guess there's some pool going on. There's a chance to win some money. I don't know who's racing in the Kentucky Derby today, but if you're a horse racing fan, this is the day. So I figured I needed a pretty good shave to get that started. All right. Well, welcome. Shall we get this shave started? Let's wet the face. Wristwatch check. Got the Omega Seamaster. The one James Bond used in Spectre. All right. And let's look at the soap. Got it all wet, nice and wet already. Yeah, there's the container. So you can see Rich Man Shaving, Hc&c. Very nice. Right out of the tub. Makes it so easy, gents. So very easy. If you're a fan of the channel, you probably hear in the background the dog sometimes, Monty. Named after General Montgomery, the World War II British general. That old boy's 13 years old. And what happened yesterday was we have birds nesting in our eaves above our patio window. And I don't know if the rat did it, but there's a rat been coming visiting and knocking the eggs out of the nest and then eating them. And my dog hasn't been happy because he's seen the rat a few times and the rat always gets away. Yesterday, the dog caught the rat. And it was a big rat, like not quite a football size, but a big rat. And they got into a big fight. And all I know is the dog came back in and blood was squirting out of his nose. I've never seen so much blood. We have a white leather sofa. Thank God it's leather. It looked like he had been hit in the face with a hatchet. The rat wasn't in such good condition either. The father-in-law had to go out, and sorry everybody, but the rat's no longer with us. But had to take the dog down to the emergency, and oh man, but by the time we got there, the bleeding had stopped. He didn't really have to have any treatment, but he has white paws, blood everywhere. What a day. But no more rat. Boy, oh boy, rat fought good. All right. Oh, nice. Nice. If you know Hendrix Classics, you know that these soaps are very, very slick. You should have no trouble with these soaps. And when you pair it with a nice razor and a nice blade, you're going to have an excellent shave. It was going to be $200 just to get that dog into the ER. And we got into the ER, and luckily the bleeding had stopped, and the vet was very nice and said, oh, you know, iodine. They said, I didn't know this, rats don't really carry rabies. And he's had his rabies shot. But they said if it was a skunk or a possum or a raccoon, he would have had to have had antibiotics and stuff. So you guys who live out in the country, if your dog's getting a scrap with one of them, have they? I'd be curious to know. Has your dog gotten a scrap with any of those animals or critters? My dog's a bird dog, and for some reason he's protecting the baby birds. He likes the sparrows and the little ones, but he does not like big birds like ducks, doves. He chases them away, but the little ones, they can land right next to him. He doesn't mind. You came for a shave, and you got a story. Should have had pictures of, so much blood. Then the vet says that the dogs have so much, it's so vascular in the nose. Like, I was in the attic once, and they re-roofed our roof, and the nails were sticking out pretty far, and I came up. I went, what the hell? And then blood started coming down. Man, I had to hold my head and drive to the ER. I was the only one home. I went to the walk-in and had blood all over. They saw me right away, and they said that around the head on people, there's so many veins to get blood to the brain that if you get cut, it bleeds like crazy. And apparently a dog's nose is very similar. Got to learn a lot of veterinary stuff yesterday. And then I went last night to the movies to see that World War II movie by Guy Ritchie. Thumbs up, man, thumbs up. They got a guy playing Ian Fleming in the movie. And it says at the end that the Ian Fleming, the character portrayed in this movie, was the basis for James Bond. Ian Fleming learned all this stuff during his career in British intelligence during World War II. But a good movie. If you want to see it, a good movie. Thought it was great. All right. Okay, I set the scent's in the soap for sure, but not as strong as in the aftershave. And it's based on Eau de Parfum, which is the strongest of the scents. I think next to Parfum. Sometimes I smell some of these scents from the different soap companies, and I go, well, that's kind of unique, but it's not something that I would necessarily go out, if you're single, on a date to a club or something. This, you can go out to a club on a date, and it's gonna be noticed. It's well gonna be noticed. So way to go, guys. All right, here we go. Perfect. It's going to be a backyard party. They got like a 70-inch TV out there, so I'll make sure I wear my sunscreen, although it looks like rain here in Southern California today. And I saw the preview for the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We went with my father-in-law. He stays with us on the weekends because, you know, my mother-in-law passed away over a year ago, and it's really good to have him here. And he comes out of the action flicks that my wife wouldn't want to see, so I get to go with my brother and my father-in-law and see all these cool movies. Sci-fi. I had to go last week with the wife to see that tennis love story triangle movie, and yeah, girls, I was waiting for the wife at the restroom after, I think I've already mentioned this, girls were coming out going, it was the greatest movie of all, and the guys are going, hey, if it keeps your date happy. Smooth as can be. Very smooth. All right. I picked a good, somebody's running the sink. Hang on, should go away. Maybe not. Yep, there we go. I'm telling you, single guys, or guys want to impress your woman, good stuff. All right, here we go. A little bit of a burn, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now you can smell the scents. All right, so the scents are apple, ginger, bergamot, sage, juniper berries, and geranium. The base notes are, let's see, amberwood, tonka bean, cedar, vetiver. Very good note combination. Now, I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't know how long the scent's going to stay strong. Generally, Hc&c scents last quite a long time. It's 10:30 now. I'm going to the Kentucky Derby party around 1. Don't know even what time the race kicks off. Maybe it's at 3. But yeah, they're going to have it catered. The good Mexican food. They're going to have, I don't drink anymore, but they're going to have booze. It's going to be a good party. Yeah, going to be a good party. And I do like horse racing. I used to go with my father all the time to Los Alamitos racetrack, just about 10 miles from here, and watch the quarter horses. And I kind of like the quarter horses better than the thoroughbreds because they're off and running, photo finish. You know, the races are very quick, like a drag race. Whereas the thoroughbreds, you go, hey, I'm winning, as they go around. For you gents in the Midwest and in Kentucky, probably a lot of people in Kentucky watch the channel. You ever go to the Derby live? That would be crazy. I hear it's a huge event. Everybody's dressing up, hats and all this stuff. All right, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good weekend. I'm shaved, scented. I'm ready to rock. So thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for your subscriptions. I have the links to the products in this video in the description of this video. And there's a big backstory. I didn't mention the big backstory. That they created a big backstory for this this soap and aftershave. And I've cut and pasted it in the description of this video. Kind of a cool alien scenario, but I'll let you read it. All I know is the facts. It smells great. I don't care necessarily about the backstory, but I like the combination, and it sure does smell great. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. Stay safe.